Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Lone Star Radio.
Welcome to the Texas Ticket Show. This is Armando, and I'm with Mr. Joe Crosby.
How's it going?
Good, Joe. Good to see you, brother. How you been?
Great. Love being out here. Thanks for having me.
Man, I'm glad you made it out. Joe Crosby with a 936-600 dump, and the name of the business is the same as the phone number.
That's right. The name of the business, 936-600 dump. It's also the phone number, 936-600 dump, and the website, 936-600 dump.
Dang. Pretty clever there.
Got to make it easy. It's
Pretty clever.
construction dumpsters and demolition and land clearing. So we got the best prices around right here in Montgomery County.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Love being here.
Well, it's dirty work, but somebody's got to do it.
You got to.
Yeah, keeping it beautiful, keeping it clean, keeping it right. Man. And speaking of, we got quite a show here today.
Mm-hmm.
We do. We've got a fella
we do.
coming
Excited
out.
about this.
Yeah, we got a couple guests today. We have a fella. He's coming in to tell us all about the shootout going on over. It's a musicians shootout. They've been doing this thing every Tuesday over at Guadalaharry's upstairs.
Yep.
The band comes in. They compete every. I think one day a week they compete, and they go into the finals. And now there's their big coup de grace, the final shootout for the musicians to find out who the winner of this thing is. I believe he's gonna come fill in all the details. That one's coming up, and he'll be here for the Punch Your Texas Ticket segment of the show right at the very end, where we go over all the local events, all the local happenings that we have on our radar right now.
Things going on right
The
now.
stuff I really want to go to, and stuff that I know that we've seen come around the cycle a few times, where we've already been there, we've done that, and we know I don't want to miss that one.
Yeah,
ever.
it's going to be a good time.
Oh, yeah, we've been to a few of these, and, some of these that I mentioned are ones that we've had some experience with, and some are just new to us, just like it is to everyone else. But we'll bring some of those up and some details about them from our past experiences and what maybe to expect up in the future. We also have here in the studio today with us a young man named Phillip Anthony Sainz-Hall, and I'm sure he's going to correct me on that. He's an author, and amongst many things.
You're messing up right now.
I know. I don't want to destroy that too much. Well, let's get this show started. We got Anthony in the studio with us now, and we're blessed to have him. Anthony, welcome to the show.
Man, thanks for having me here, man. Armando, it's a pleasure. It's nice.
What a
me
treat.
and Joe, talking about some stuff here, the dirty business. I can relate.
Yeah. So, you wrote a book, from the Bullet to the Bible. Let me show him what it is. There it is, right there. You can see that guy. You got that one there for us. Okay. Yeah. And it's and we ran into each other. I think it was one of the political events, the rallies over here in Conroe down on the square, and we had a great conversation, and I wanted you to come on the show really bad, and I'm glad you made time.
Well, I appreciate that, man. I think these things happen for a reason. I don't believe in coincidence. The book is titled "From the Bullet to the Bible: A Gangster's Tale."
Mm-hmm. So, and you were part of the Small Doan family
out of Denver.
Yes. And started a rough life and found your way, from what I understand.
Yeah, I was an enforcer. Did collection. I don't know what people know about mob life, or we call it the life.
Yeah.
It's the American Italian Mafia. It's La Cosa Nostra. There's a difference. It's not associated or related to the Italian mob.
Okay,
which
I didn't
is
know that.
strictly only in Italy. We don't have connections or associations to that.
Okay.
But the organization and the hierarchy of things was brought here long before my time.
Yeah.
And they follow that.
And how back does the Small Doan family go?
They go back as far as the 20s. And bootlegging days, Al Capone days, some associates there. So back when organized crime was probably just kicking off or in its mainstream.
Well, and I associate a lot of it with, you know, like prohibition and some of these other things that were happening in those times, from, you know, the change in slavery and prohibition, just the nation at large. I mean, it was all moving around different, and there were just so much strange things going on that come when you look at it with today's eyes, you know. And I mean, I could watch a show from the 1970s. It looks different. You know,
Yeah.
when I watch it today, I was like, that was the coolest show ever.
Now you're like, what is
Why
this?
does it look so weird? You know,
The heck, a commercial.
yeah, it just seems like, you know, the perspective is everything, you know, how you look at it, you know. And, you know, you started getting involved, what were you, 9, 10 years old?
Yeah, I was, you know, I always tell everybody when I go share a story or testimony, and I like to speak and jump out to the men right away in the house. I'll step up and say, you know, there's an old country song that says, looking for love in all the wrong places. And I want to tell the men out there, and I want the men to really hear this, young men, big brothers, older brothers, fathers. If you do not have love in your home, and I want these guys to, if you don't have love in your home, you will go find it. You know, and the streets were there for me with arms open wide. Satan can come in all kinds of different packages, and that was for me, you know. Due to the chaos in my house, I hit the streets at the age of 8, running around. I was following gangs. The Warlords was a gang in our neighborhood. My father, and God bless him, I'm not picking on my pop here, but he's a recon specialist, man. He was a Marine in Vietnam. He came home, and that was his issue. As a recon specialist, he was on kill teams, and he was somewhere pinned into his brain that if you go home, you didn't do your job. And well, he got hit by a rocket launcher, so he was forced to come home. And he came home with a lot of junk, you know. And God bless our people that serve our military services, and God bless them, and our first responders. And so I'm not picking on him, but he had a lot of turmoil and trauma, and he drank a lot. And I remember being like 6 years old, 7 years old, and he's breathing over you at like 3 a.m, and he's alcohol, and he's got his K-bar with him, his knife, and he's like speaking Vietnamese to you, and
Oh, wow.
telling you to get up, and you got to do push-ups, and you know, he was a different guy, and to this day he still struggles with things.
So he's still with us.
But usually, yes,
Okay, good.
I'm the oldest of 6 kids, and that's what we did. And anybody, you know, in every city there's an inner city. And as young guys, when things were going wrong at home, we'd always run to our friend's house.
Yeah.
And our friends were out there. In the streets, I did a lot of thieving, a lot of vandalism. My neighborhood was surrounded by biker gangs. We used to have garage bands all the time.
Where'd you grow up?
Denver.
In Denver?
I was in Denver, downtown Denver, West Denver. So people say Denver. There's no mafia in Denver. There's no gangs in Denver.
That's what they want you to think.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Every city has its inner city where you can get in trouble or be influenced
Absolutely.
and lead to that. You were talking about, well, I get this question a lot. I mean, the mob life, what's it like now compared? It really ain't. I call it digital mafia now, or it's all, you know, electronics.
The landscape has changed.
Oh, yeah. Due to surveillance, I think my run was in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I think that was it. That was the last of the
When you
guys.
say your run, you mean?
My time in La Cosa Nostra. I took a blood oath May 11th, 1991.
Okay.
One day after my son was born, I was asked to leave that situation. I took something called Omerta. And a lot of guys that are in the life now would probably disagree, or they'll argue with me on this. I'm not going to mention some names because I've got into some deals. You couldn't have been a made guy because of my father was of Hispanic descent. My mother is of the Sicilians on her side. So having that in La Cosa Nostra, the initial rule of thumb per se is you couldn't be a made guy. Now you can be a recognized associate, but you could never take the blood oath and be called a made guy unless your father was of direct Sicilian descent.
I see.
I think they ran out of bad guys because mine's 57, you know, we can't judge anybody. So Who's your dad?
Who's your daddy and what does he do?
I had my encounters. I robbed the wrong guy when I was young. During my thugging, we used to, the older gangsters, the neighborhood gangs would drop us off in some of the, let's say, better, well-to-do neighborhoods. And back then, you know, in the 80s, late 70s and the early 80s, there were a lot more Leave It to Beaver neighborhoods, I call them, you know, where they left the garage door open, toys were left out, bicycles, tools.
In the 90s, latchkey kids, it was...
Yeah, it was a normal thing.
Yeah.
So we would hit those neighborhoods, and the gangsters would drop us off and pick us up at the end of the block with what we load into their trucks and take off. By that weekend, if you were missing a tool and you went to the swap meet or the flea market, you probably bought your stuff back from us.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Go to the local pawn shop and get it back.
Learning the organized crime life at a young age, though I knew nothing about Mafia or anything like that. And during one of my stints, I call stints, my buddies were on our bicycles. We hit a strip mall by my house, and I didn't read, but I didn't care about reading or paying attention to signs or anything like that. But above the strip mall down the way, there was Giovanni's drugstore, Giovanni's bakery, Giovanni's restaurant, Giovanni's hardware store. So you get where I'm going. Somebody named Giovanni must have owned this place. Well, as kids and young men, we young boys, we liked, you guys probably relate, football cards, baseball cards, you know, basketball tops. Go get the cards and get your bubble gum in there. But I like collecting. That was one of my favorite pastimes. I just didn't like paying for them. So we would go into the grocery stores, and whoever's turn it was, we'd rotate. Your turn to snag, your turn to
Watch
go
out.
distract.
Man, y'all were organized as kids.
I was 13, 12 years old, and so my buddies would go in and distract the clerks, and hey, my mom's looking for this and that, and it was my turn at the time, and so I'm over there stuffing my socks and my pants with everything I can, all the football cards and stuff, and I hear this voice in the background, "Hey boy, what are you doing down there?" And I look up, and it's this mountain of a man. I'm talking real mountain. I'm 12, but this guy was, 400 pounds and some change. He was a big guy, big Italian guy. He goes, "Are you stealing from me?" Oh, man, guys, we've been made. Let's go, man. We get out and we put our stuff. We run out to our bicycles and we jump on them. We're starting to ride away. And I remember stopping and looking back at this guy, and he gets to the end of the sidewalk and he's huffing and puffing, breathing real heavy. And I laughed. I said, "You'll never catch me, you fat." And I said a few things.
Yeah.
And I took off. And a year later, I moved from junior high to high school. So I got a different route home. And in that day, I was running with a group called the VUCs and the Warlords. So they were older guys, and they would come down to the school and pick us up after school, or just go hang, get drunk, whatever. We were punks. This one particular time, I didn't get picked up, so I'm going to walk home. And I remember walking through that strip mall, and I had done so many little dirty deeds around, and I didn't even dawn on me.
Them all.
And it's been a year. And this tells you the mentality of the guy I'm just about to meet. And I'm walking by, and I remember smelling, looking at the eye candy, at the pastries, and looking at all the chocolates and the candy store he had there. And like, man, this stuff looks good. And I walk by the restaurant, and bam! Somebody grabs me out of my feet, man, my shoes. I'm getting drugged through this door. These tables are going by real fast. I look at the carpet, it's red, and then I get into the back and slammed up against this brick wall. And he grabs my head and slapping me, man. I've got a bloody nose. And I'm like, "What, man? What's going on, man?" And he goes, and he grabbed my face, and he goes, "I'll never catch you, you fat bastard. That's what you told me back then."
You ran into Giovanni again.
And I'm like, whoa, it's been a year, And I'm like, "Oh, man, what are you going to do? Call the cops?" All the gangster in me left. He was manhandling me back there. And he says, "Call the cops?" He laughed. "Call the cops? You think they're going to pay me all the money you stole from me?" "No. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to go home and tell your father what you did. And then you're going to go get a pair of black pants, a white shirt, and some black shoes, and you're going to show up here and work for me, and you're going to start tomorrow. You understand me?" "Yeah, man, I'll do whatever, man. Get out of here." So I left, I didn't go tell my father what I did.
Don't make it worse.
The next time, I'll take him the long way around.
I'm taking the long way around.
To get this guy. And a couple days later, I had been out with my buddies, and I come home, and I'm trying to be quiet and get into my room because it's real late. And I turn on my light, and there on my bed is a white shirt, black pants,
Oh shoot!
black pair
He
of
done
shoes.
found out where you lived and everything.
Man, my dad walked in and bam on the back of the head. And, boy, I don't know what you did, but I know who you did it to. You will be at work tomorrow. And I went to work as a busboy for John Giovanni.
Damn.
$1 something an hour, and he kept my tips.
We had a place here in Conroe on London Lake. It was it closed down, but it was called Giovanni's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's an Italian
where
place, of
More,
course.
yeah, it's where More.
There's a place in Palestine, and the guy actually owns it is John Giovanni.
Oh, it's him.
He's got
Okay.
a place, not him, but he's dead. But
Family.
the guy's name is John Giovanni, and he owns a place in Dallas.
That's
But
crazy. You got to watch out for all the Giovannis
Yeah.
now, because it could be his cousin. His
How long
niece,
did
his
you have to
nephew.
work there?
I was there a few years, man, and it tells you the devil knows what he's doing. I didn't know anything about Mafia. I didn't know what that word even meant. It was never mentioned.
Yeah.
I just knew this guy had power. Now, John had his restaurant, old school, old Italian. He smoked a big cigar, read newspaper, and he had his table. And nobody sat at Big John's tables.
And he loved chicken marsala.
I always learned. Maybe he did. Now, he's a big guy, and his wife was Jeannie, and she was real small, but she was redhead, and she was tough. And she always thought I was starving. Every
That was one
time.
of
I wanted to feed you every time. That's
Every
good.
time.
That's good.
You can never go wrong working at an Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
So John had his table, and that was his setup, and he had two guys that worked for him. And over the few years that I was there, John embraced me. But he had these two guys that worked for him, and they never sat at John's table. So I could be John sitting at my table, you'd be sitting at that table over there, and Joe would be sitting over here, and that's our conversation. They always came in before business opened, and then they would leave. I saw a lot of people meet John like he was some kind of mayor or king or governor, chief of police. I mean, people just respected this man. And he wouldn't talk to me very well. He was mad at me for a very long time.
Still mad at you.
So,
Understandable.
He never
I get it,
forgot.
I get
when
it.
he spoke, it was tough. Just real quick, he asked me one time in the back, hey, Anthony. He never called me by my first name. It was always Little Anthony. That's who named me. And he said, Anthony, how many brothers you got? Thanks for asking, John. I got 3 brothers, and their names are, and he'd just walk away. Then the next day, he'd come back and say, Anthony, what's one of your brothers' names? Oh, I got this brother named Michael. And my other brother, and he'd walk away. The next day, what's your other brother's name? And he would do one thing like that to me. It would be a month to answer one question to this guy. But that was John, and there was a method to all the things that he did.
He probably already knew the
In the
answers
book,
to your
I don't want to
questions
get
anyway.
into that with the book, but yeah, it's all in the book. And
And where can I get your book? Where's
anywhere.
it? Anywhere.
Amazon, you can Google From the Bullet to the Bible, Gangster's Tale. You can Google my name. You can catch my YouTube channel.
I caught some videos. It was really, it was intriguing. I intend to watch more, and I know it was a bit abrupt getting you in here, and I wish I'd have done some more homework. And I was thinking, I wish I read the book before you came instead of after you leave.
We'll do another show.
Yeah, man, I'd love
Before
that.
and after.
But you're doing a lot of tours now. You changed your life. You had a big turnaround. Tell me a little bit about that change up there. What happened?
It wasn't a jailhouse religion. It wasn't a God. Actually, I fought my relationship with coming to know the Lord.
You shared that with me.
I didn't want him in my life. Everything that I'd known as a child, they went to church. Their families went to church. My best friend gunned down in a park. I saw him at 16 years old, 60 holes in him with a Mac 20.
Oh my gosh.
Sent to a shafty drug deal by his older brother. And they all went to church and everybody prayed, and it just wasn't. I was numb to it. And it was my grandmother, and that's the reason I believe I'm here today, is due to the power of prayer by other people in my life, not by my own, because I didn't. But I met people, and it wasn't until a if you ever want to learn something about yourself, see, I'm not an educated guy as far as school goes. I barely got out of school. I had to actually go back to school to get a diploma because my grandmother, I wanted my GED. I knew I was going to drop out, but she knew how to talk to me and challenge me. And she said, "When's graduation?" one day, and I said, "Well, man, I ain't gonna do that thing. I'm gonna go do something else. I make more money doing something else." She goes, "Oh, it ain't about money. Are you not graduating?" Nah, I got something else coming up. And how
I got
mama
other
or
plans.
grandmother can make you feel like that. And I'm like, "No, here she goes with the questions." And she, "Oh, it's okay, baby. So you couldn't do it?" No, it's not that I couldn't do it.
Oh, so you're dumb, huh?
Kind of like, that's okay. Yeah, a lot of people can't do that. They can't get. That's a hard thing. No, Ma, I didn't say I couldn't get my diploma. I'm saying I made another choice here. And she would just, "Oh, that's okay. You would have been one of the first, but that's if you can't do something, that doesn't make you a bad person." I didn't say I couldn't do it. And so I went back I begged my principal. He didn't want me coming back to school. He was glad I was gone. And I said, "Man, I got to do this." So I went another semester and I graduated in his office. And I came back because I was proud. "I did it. I told you I could do it, Mom." She goes,
She tricked you.
"Well, that's good." And then,
that's good. No.
Go get some bread over there. We're going to eat now. No, I did this for you. And she was, "No, you did it for you." See, she was that rock across the board. All the family. Her name was Josephine. Cole, we used to call her Joe Mama. And all the biker guys called her Joe Mama's truck stop. You always ate in her house,
Yeah.
She had tortillas and bread and stuff always going in a pot of beans. And
All the time.
yeah, and she didn't have much, but she gave a lot. So her praying over me and throughout the other people in my life that I encountered, I didn't realize till I put pen to paper. And I had influenced by my wife and many people. I thought the judges were bothering me and spying on me at home. Police officers would come by and drive by my house real slow. And I did have federal agents for about 5 years. I got to know on a regular basis, just coming to check on you. My wife didn't believe it until they introduced themselves one time, and there's some funny stuff that happened at a Walmart.
Oh no, it's the feds. Don't worry.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, and we had beach
That's
house.
just Jim. What's up, Jim?
Yeah, we sent them water on the beach, and it's just some other stuff. But
leaving them stuff.
Sensible shoes.
yeah,
they
he
always
asked
had
my wife.
sensible-
See,
And then let me get 2 orders to go, please, for the guys outside watching me.
Yeah.
and but it was like that. But I don't want to pick on the feds right now. I got my freedom right now.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Let's keep it that
Anyway,
way.
yeah. But it wasn't until I actually talked to an officer, and he said, "Hey, man, I'm not trying to get in your mess. We know you're out. I got some messed up kids in my jail right now." Texas is the only place that I have been. I've been traveling quite a bit. I've had over 400 speaking engagements and done some really neat travels. And I've never met a place or been where I've got to talk with law enforcement or a judge that they actually follow up and care about the people that they've arrested in their lives. I've ran into more of that here than any other place. And I don't know why. But
Small town vibes.
Texas is a big place, but it's
originally the purpose. I go there for correction. I want to be a better man. I mean, we and the mindset that we believe is that you go to jail so you can be a better man when you get out. This is incarceration to take it out of you, to start a new life. This is where it's correctional.
There's a Judge Bill James in Brazoria County. He still sits on a seat. I believe he's in his 90s.
Oh, wow.
And on the video I sent you, he speaks on there and talks about his research on me. But we became friends after a while, and they were asking me to talk to these kids, and I was like, nah, at first, what do you want me to tell them? Let them take the medicine and see what it's like. And it took a sit down from my wife to say, shame on you. God pulled a miracle off in your life, and you walked out of prison.
And you were in prison 20 years, right? I mean,
Facing 20 to life.
You were committed to 20 years.
Yeah, I was in from 2004, 2007, January.
And I thought something about that was interesting, and that for those that haven't been to prison or those that have,
Or planning to go.
or we're living that life where that might be where you're going, and you already know. It's just a matter of time. I think something to be said about how that holds the cred in Joe does because typically it's segregated by race or by different tribes, different walks. How did they treat you in there?
Well, word travels quick. We were talking about it earlier. La Cosa Nostra is a pretty powerful thing on the street. It's the world's largest criminal organization, that we're a part of, and it's something to be taken seriously. I took my oath, and it was unbelievable at the time, but the power that came with that on the street alone, you couldn't give me, and I'm really not picking on law enforcement, but you couldn't give me a parking ticket.
Yeah.
And I had the mob behind me now. And sometimes when I spend time and I speak to law enforcement, or I do counsel with some guys, man, they'll say, "Hey, Anthony, I'm investigating this, or I'm doing that, and my stomach's telling me this," and I'll be like, "Well, then go with your gut. Now, you're at what table, what situation?" So you got to remember something. It's organized crime. We ain't knocking off 7-Elevens, man. In my corridor that I ran was from Juarez, Mexico, to Davison, Michigan. I introduced on my end one of the largest drug guns deal to the Juarez cartel, to the Italian mob, in which I introduced it right in the beginning of my book.
Okay.
And I talk about that situation and what it took. And the only reason I was able to do that is because my father is of Spaniard descent, because the cartel would have nothing to do with the Italian mob. So my position had a destination long before I knew it.
Unique position that you were in there.
And these guys, when I tell law enforcement, "Look, pal, you took an oath, right?" Yeah, so did I. My job, 25 hours a day, 8 days a week, was to beat you.
Right.
It's to do crime. And it goes from criminal profiling, like we were talking about, my trade was concrete, mannerisms, guns, combat, fighting, money, everything. You get a whole
And you
education.
told me trade's mandatory.
Mandatory. You have to have a trade.
A cover story.
You've got to have got a reason to be in your neighborhood. It wasn't like you see on these movies, these guys showing up like I showed up today. It wasn't that, man. We were in clothes that we could fight in.
Giveaway.
We were clothes that we could fight in. Your nails were always trim, no jewelry, and no visible tattoos. Clean cut hair, no DNA. And how to create.
Let me write this down.
Crime scene.
Or is it in your book?
It's in there. I can go into detail because I think that's left out. I'm not trying to.
Sure.
Glorify the mob life, which the movies do. About the truest film I've ever seen. I've seen two that I would say, well, that's spot on. There's a flick called Donnie Brasco.
Okay, yeah.
And I think that's the legit deal right there.
Donnie Brasco.
They're busting open parking meters. I mean, anything that could be insured, and it was stolen. I don't care if it was cupcakes to engine blocks to you name it, we hit it. Mine was from Juarez, Mexico. He's really taking notes. Juarez, Mexico to Davison, Michigan. So if it crossed my corridor, I had a hand in it.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about that.
I do love cupcakes.
We're getting cupcakes after this. All right. I got the game plan. I was going to ask you about that. I was like, how true is some of that? Like from the reality to what they portray in movies. I mean, everything's a bit exaggerated, right?
The camaraderie, I miss. People
Right.
you miss the life. Yeah, I miss my brothers.
Yeah.
Shout out to my buddy Stephen Ennis. He's the real bull, not Sammy the bull. Stephen the bull.
Yeah.
He's out. He lives now. I'm not going to say where he lives, but he's living a good life. And I still talk to some guys from the life. I talk to some Bananos. I talk to some Gambinos, and they're not out like you see on these shows. That's very rare.
You go visit some of them?
No.
Why are you asking them questions, man?
No, we
Is that a bad one? Is that
that was good.
I don't associate with
I don't know.
anybody.
I
I know
take
you're
that
touring
back.
prisons. I know you're touring the prisons. I assume
Yeah.
while I'm there, I'm going to see a friend, or somebody that's incarcerated, or and I know that
Yeah,
biblically is correct to visit the incarcerated.
There's no dark dark territory or any bad blood on my end, and there's none on theirs. Heck, I had 3 attempts. You know, I got 3 different bullet holes in me at different occasions.
Stabbed several times as well, from what I understand.
Stuff in my chest, through my back, into my head, and I've got a plate in my head.
I'm not gonna walk so closely down the street next to you anymore.
I took my medicine in the life, and there is a respect to that. And there's something called a discovery.
Yeah.
Which you think that you're helping to screw on the judicial system up here, but you think that there's an anonymous cooperative person or informant, no such thing. When I'm done and my trial's done, I'm entitled to something called a discovery, which I get to look and see who told on me, for lack of better words. And in my own,
during the trial,
it breaks my heart, but I had some family members on that list. But hey, it was dirt, it was crime. But the one thing you'll never see is my name on a discovery. I never ratted and never rolled. I took my medicine, even though it was going a bad way. And a couple guys that I know that are that way. I got a pal, Mr. Borelli. He's down here in Dallas, and he's got his show out. And I missed the camaraderie. There was loyalty. Yeah. There was an oath. But at the same time, at the end, when it all hit the fan, it was your best friend who got the call. And there's no such thing as a paid hit on somebody. I hear these guys sometimes say, "Oh, it was $250,000 hit on me." No, there wasn't.
It don't take that much.
They don't take anything. A hit is an assignment. You do it or you get hit. It's not you're going to get paid extra for this.
Yeah.
No, it's loyalty. You build your rank, your soldiership. You just do what you're told. And you know your captain. And I knew everything about John. I knew right-handed, left-hand, coats he wore on certain days.
You're
where
left-handed?
he sat. I'm right-handed. But I knew about John, whatever he did. I knew what cigars, what brands. He smoked two different brands, and one was at the beginning of the week and one was at the second of the week. And if he didn't have that other one at the second of the week, it was going to be a bad week for everybody. So my job was to protect my captain. When I got released, I applied that same virtue into finding out who Jesus was, who God was. What was he? So I want to know everything about
Jesus
him
is the captain now.
before I give my life to him. And I got out in January. I accepted my personal Savior on March, which I didn't even realize, May 11th, 2007. May 11th, 1991 is when I took my oath. And then September 2007, I was baptized in the South Platte River. And but it took a while, and I was blessed to have these men come out of the woodwork who would come visit me, guys that I bullied growing up. He's one of my dearest friends now, and he was one of the first people to knock, because I was at my dad's house, to knock on the door. And, "Hey, man," and I seen him. He's like, "Dean, oh, man, I'm so sorry, bro," because it was bad.
Yeah.
And all that man did was embrace me and say, "Man, I'm glad you made it. I've been praying for you my whole life, bro." And I mean, now, and these guys are dear, dear friends. So every morning somebody was calling me. "Hey, did you look in your Bible today? Did you read something? You got any questions for me? You want to get some coffee? Let's talk about it." A different guy came to me. It was like God had this plan. You know, my grandma was working on it.
You were telling me about Matthew 5. Tell me about the scripture.
Matthew 5, verse 8 sits on the back of my book. That's the verse that my grandmother had given me. "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." I never knew what that meant, and I said it for years. She gave it to me. I was 8 years old. Got all the bad things when I was 8, and that was the one good thing. And one day on her deathbed, she explained that to me. Because I asked her, I said, "Mom, I've been saying this for years, but I never knew what it meant." "Well, why'd you say it?" "Because I was scared to death of you. You'd knuckle me in the head or something." I didn't say it, but I say it, you know. And she explained, you know, that's your identification verse.
Yeah.
When you stand before the Lord, He's going to know you by your heart. You know, not by your deeds and not by what comes out of your mouth, but by your heart, because your deeds come out of your heart. You have a good heart.
He knows the real you.
So she said, follow that. You know, that was December 1st, 1989. And then at the end of that explanation, I threw a little tantrum because God wasn't fixing her. And she humbled me and she said, you know, someday, because I know we don't have much time, but someday my little Anthony, my little Phillip's going to tell the whole world what Jesus did for him, what God did for him. And I said, okay, whatever, Ma. Here I am in front of, I got to speak at Joel Osteen's church, Lakewood Church, and I really picked on that guy in jail because they used to make us watch him every Sunday. And
So they calmed everybody, right?
That's it. His sermons calm people, but I
And
used
you had
to say,
to watch it.
yeah, or I'd wake the guys up. Guy, get up, man. Mr. Sunshine's on TV. You know, he's going to say the magic words. We all get a Corvette and go to heaven. And they would be like, come on, man. And I said, no, come on. Mm-hmm. And you got to be careful. Why, Lord, forgive me. Bite your tongue. You're picking on Joel over there. And God has a place for everybody, not for me to judge. But one of the first people to call me once my book had come out was Lakewood Church and Joel Osteen.
Oh, wow.
So I went and met with Joel, and I spoke in front of 300 men with John Bowman. That's on the video I sent you. And I was like, wow, that opened doors. But I had to sit to Joel and sit with him and say, hey, Joel, I owe you an apology, man. He didn't know what I was talking about. I said, well, I was incarcerated. I used to make fun of
He
you.
didn't know that you were talking bad about him.
But you've done 400 of these speaking appearances, and I know more now, and it just keeps stacking up. And tell me about that experience there in speaking and who you speak with.
I didn't think I was any good at it. I never had any plans to do it. I mean, come on, you just got out of this.
Neither did
thing.
Moses.
Yeah, I learned about him too. And God's going to take you where He wants to get you, whether you like it or not. Mm-hmm. And I still have some stuff to people that cut me off in traffic and things. And I look at people different, and my wife will say, just don't go into that neighborhood. It's a bad neighborhood, honey. So tell people that, and I never knew how different until I got around some really good people. And then I became more angry because I saw what my mob life did to my family and the tragedies that it left behind and the turmoil in my own life. You know, I have 2 sons, and I'm still working really hard on to get that relationship mended. But that generational curse has to stop.
Yeah.
But there were so many things that had me messed up. It took a long time. I got out in 2007. 2018 might have been, other than the Lakewood Church deal, was some of my first speaking, and I refused to go all the time. I was tricked into it, my first one. It was at a church that was pastored by a guy named Nicky Cruz. And if you've ever heard of the Cross and the Switchblade, that's Nicky Cruz, an old gangster. Well, he invited me to speak in front of like 2,000 people, and I threw up, and I didn't
Just nervous,
go.
just jitters getting out there.
Yeah, I was in Texas.
That's a lot of people.
I left the state. My pastor Brian, when I left, I told him, whatever you need, pal, whatever you need, you call me, anything, because he became a dear friend of me, and I'll come here for you. Even though I'm not supposed to come into the state of Colorado, I'll come here for you. And he called one day, and he said, if I ever needed it. And he tricked me. And I hope he's going to listen to this. I'm going to tell him about this show. I hold it against him still to this day. But it was 2010, and it was a Radiant Church in Colorado Springs, and then stadium seating. And I was doing my concrete work, minding my own business here down in Texas. And he called me and said, hey, Anthony, I got this. You said to call you if I ever need it. Well, I'm in some trouble, bro. And I need you. I said, oh, man, what kind of trouble could a pastor get into? All right, bro, I'm on my way. It can't be that bad, you know. So
I would have assumed the same.
yeah, I mean, when you didn't kill nobody, I hope you didn't. I mean,
He's like, yeah, I need you to help me clean something up.
Yeah. So why would you call me? Because usually a pastor's got enough guys around him that you're calling me. So I go, okay, well, let me get my job done today. I'm going to hit the road tomorrow. He goes, no, I booked your ticket already. You what? Yeah, you leave like tonight at 10 o'clock. Can you be at Bush Intercontinental? I'm in Freeport at the time. I'm like, I can't say no because I gave you my word.
Yeah.
Okay, so I finished up, raced to the airport. It's a red eye. I fly into DIA. I'm not supposed to be in Colorado. And he says, I've covered it. We're okay. I meet him at the airport. He goes, we got to drive to Colorado Springs. So we, that's, if you're familiar with Denver and Colorado Springs, it's a couple hours and it's late. And he goes, I got some change of clothes. I stopped and seen your father. I go, you did? He goes, yeah, I got some clothes he had for you to switch and everything. I said, okay, well, what's going on, man? Because I can't talk about it right now, but
Oh,
get
no.
some rest, bro. We got to go to the Springs. Okay, I'm trusting you, man. You got me thinking here. I mean, it's 1 o'clock, 2 in the morning. We get to the Springs, and he goes, we got to be quiet. You're going to sleep in the basement. And I go, whoa, whoa, whoa. And he goes, they don't really know we're here. I go, come on, man. He goes, well, they're sleeping. I got to get up at 5:30. So you only got a couple hours, man. And now I go, you got me worried, B. What's going on? He goes, I just need you. And so, because every time he called me before, I said, I'm not speaking. I'm not sharing my testimony to nobody. I'm done with that life. Nobody's business. Leave me alone. So 5:30 comes, man, I'm tired. And he's like, come on, we got to go. Let's hit the shower. Let's get out of here. And I never even met the homeowners. So we get into his car and we're driving. I'm just barely awake, you know. I just laid a bunch of concrete, flew on a plane, got here. We're sneaking around. I don't know. But there's a billboard we drive under that I didn't even see. And it says, ex-mobster shares testimony. So we're going into this church.
And everything.
And I go, what's going on with the church? He goes, man, I have this. I got to fill in for this pastor, and I needed backup. I go, where's the rest of the guys at the church? And he goes, well, they're at our church, the Denver church, but this is the Radiant Church. And I go and sit down. They got a little coffee deal there, and this lady comes over, and everybody's being real nice to me. Hi, nice to meet you, and welcome. And I'm like, these are some really nice Jesus people. And I go, what's going on here? And he goes, it's nothing, man. And he kept having me, here, turn this way. I gotta sit over and face like this. Well, behind me was this poster that said, ex-mobster shares testimony, and I didn't see it. And I'm trying to stay awake, and this lady comes over and she says, okay, so we're going to go ahead and mic you up. And I go, whoa, 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 hold up. He's the pastor. And she goes, he goes, I'm sorry, bro. I didn't quite tell you everything, but you're sharing your testimony today. And I'm like, what? And he goes, yeah, it's happening today. God's got it. God has you for this, man. And I'm like, wow. And I looked out, man, and I seen all these people. I went to the bathroom and I threw up. I was nervous. I've never done this. I don't know what I'm gonna say. I have no idea. It's on YouTube, the full testimony, my very first one. And he sat there with me and he said, my wife's down in the front row right there. Go down there, open up your Bible, and read the first thing that comes to you, and it'll soothe you. I promise you. And I love it when pastors or people do that, because I'm not very good at my Bible. There's more bullet in that book than there is Bible. But part 2 is coming out, called From the Bullet to the Bible, Sanctified, but we'll get to that. And so I go down there, and I sit next to her, and I open up the Bible, and I'm like, okay, I'll try this. And man, these people just keep coming in. And they're just, hey, nice to meet you, man. Can't wait to hear you. And I'm like, yeah, right. They
knew you were coming before you got there.
Yeah. And so and the first thing, and I'm going to be wrong if I guess this, but I believe it was in Luke. Anyways, the story is there's some lepers there, and the disciples, Jesus goes to talk to them, and the disciples are blocking them. Hey, man, those guys are lepers, man. You can't stay away from them, Jesus. And I'm kind of thinking, don't they know he's Jesus? I mean, they're trying to protect him. And the Lord does something pretty special there to me, which hit me really hard in my life. I read on further, and one leper says, you'll save them, but who will help me? And he does something very unique in that scenario there, that story. Usually Christ or someone speaks over you before they lay hands on you or they touch you or pray over you. However, Jesus reached out and touched the leper before he spoke. And that got me. He went down into his dirt, into his mire, his clay, into the pit of his illness, to me without protection, even though he's Christ. And then he spoke and said, I will. It's like he came to me in my life at my lowest point, went into my dirt when nobody could get there, into my hate and my anger and everything. And he said, I'll ride this out with you. I'll do this. And after that, I was like, man, God's got my back on this, I think. think I'm all right. And we went up there, and I can't remember what I said. I have to watch it over and over and realize that's what came out of me. And it was the neatest. I did 2 testimonies that day for 2 services. And then the sheriff's department came, and I was like, oh, crap, here we go. Well, you know what? I did a good thing, so I guess I'm going to jail. They escorted me, or gave me pass, not escorted, got me pass, talked to me, said, you're here like on a furlough. We understand that. We're going to have the sheriff's department meet you in Denver. And I'm like, so I'm going in? They said, yeah, to see your son. We made an arrangement to visit your son in jail. And I thought that's
That's
all.
amazing.
That's awesome.
So I got to have some counsel with my son, and
What a wonderful
had to
blessing.
fly out. Yeah.
And is your son out?
Yes. Yeah, he's in Denver.
He's still in Denver. You've been working with some local folks now and helping out and doing different things other than, I almost want to say evangelizing, but I mean, really sharing a story can be a form of evangelism. When I hear a recovery story, I mean, sick people, healthy people don't need a doctor, and so I feel like, it's a good pairing. It's a good way to where it's not, I can relate. I can understand you. You speak my language. You're on my level. I get it. And I think that's all healthy and really has the best opportunity to have an effect for Christ.
I don't think you have to shove Jesus down anybody's throat. I'm not no preacher. I'm not an evangelist. I don't know what I am. I just know something happened to me.
It's a form.
It had to do with him.
Yeah, it is a way of preaching. It is its own.
I like to go into the book and relate in different categories, not to interrupt you. And I hope that what they get out of the book, being bullied. I was bullied as a young kid, man. I was skinny, big. I had bad vision. I had Coke bottles by the time I was 30. I had to fight no matter what anyway. So, but I hope there's areas that I touched. Not everybody can relate to it, but somewhere just a little bit. And the power of prayer, being a bad guy, being a good person, they're all in there. And that's I hope the impact that it has.
Yeah, I was lost, now I'm found. I mean, there's a way. I mean, it all takes a catalyst, just like, your grandmother and everybody needs that guidance. And
you're
and
a liar if you say you don't need help somewhere along the way in some form.
Everybody does.
It's love, man.
And it's just a little bit. Sometimes just a small push for some folks. And like you said, some people need, a whole lot more Jesus in their life. I'll tell you right now.
I touched a lot of fire.
But you're working with Bomber and
Bomber Energy Drink.
that's Joe Halidi and company there here in Conroe, Texas, and they've done a lot of good things for a lot of folks.
That's a local company, right?
Joe Halidi at Jerry Nash, CEOs.
Yeah.
Bomber Energy Drink USA. If you Google it, we're local here off of Fraser Street. Man, those guys do an amazing amount of things for people. We all know what Joe gives community food wise. And he gives out these drinks. They give 10% to first responders. We visit. We have counsel in every city. I've been in Louisiana and probably 100 cities meeting with these people. It's, for lack of better words, it's the healthiest energy drink out there.
And earlier this week,
And it's cheaper, right?
Yeah, $1.99.
$1.99 a can, 2
So
for $3.50.
earlier this week, they were with the Love Hills Youth Group, and we've worked with these folks in a lot of ways. We try to support them as much as we can. They're doing great things. Local nonprofit.
Rebecca Nash, Jerry and Rebecca.
They were out at the Woodlands Tesla doing some stuff out there at bomberenergyusa.com.
Yes, and they're making their rounds with Bomber. Everywhere, any event that you have coming up that you want us involved in, if we can get involved, give us your information. Let us know what schools you're working with. I found a big niche in college students with this drink. They take a lot of the other high caffeinated in drinks. We're at 69 milligrams, where the average is 250 milligrams. So there's no rush, no jitters, no crash. We
They
find
got berry flavor now.
blueberry, dragon
want
fruit,
that. I ain't tried
zero
any of the
sugar.
flavor stuff.
I've got some, and I didn't bring them in, but I've got
I
a
want to try
case
one
for
of the
you guys.
berries. Yeah,
So-
I'm eager to try. I tried the other one. It's very good, and it tastes great, and it gave me that same energy that I was looking for. I would expect.
You
from
just
a
stay
Red Bull.
awake from with it, and we find it in the college campuses. They're getting away from the high stuff because they get the high stuff, and then they
Yeah,
gotta
there's the
take
crash.
something to go down, and then they gotta get high.
What
again.
about
Ours
like
just
bars?
keeps you awake.
Can I do like a Jaeger bomb with it?
You can do whatever you want with it.
Once you buy it, it's yours.
Yeah.
What about that Star drink? What's it called? Star
Rockstar?
I don't know. Some Star shot. I'm not sure what it's called. You know what it's called, Mr. Schisler? No.
He's like, I
no,
don't
I
drink.
can't say because I know what it's called. It's a bad word.
You can mix it. It'll stretch your wine bottle. It'll it's just
Oh,
it's
make a little
happy
spritz.
medium.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Okay, that sounds nice. Yeah. Okay, so what's your favorite Italian food?
Hands down, lasagna.
Lasagna. Okay. Favorite Italian restaurant?
Joe's for now.
That was a trick question. He nailed it. You nailed it. So you're moving around the U.S. right now. You're going to
Yes,
be
sir.
out in Louisiana upcoming. Then you're going to Oklahoma in the tour. And is this a book tour?
It's both.
Speaking.
It's both. Wherever, like tomorrow, I'll be down in Lake Charles. It's more of a on the low. I could say private, but it's not really a private engagement. It's an inner city deal called Parents of Murdered Children. So I go and meet with these, and I try to meet once a year with them.
Yeah.
Now it's getting once a quarter. You can't really afford to have somebody marquee come down, and there's a lot of stipulations, I think, when it comes to professional speaking per se. So we haven't chose that route because I don't want to be regulated to something. If we're in your neighborhood, if we're in your area, we've got Bomber Energy comes behind me and says, hey, we'll get him there. We'll figure it out. And I share both and do both. A spokesman for Bomber and
What a convenience! You're going to be there. You can handle both the business at once.
Yes, sir.
That's a good move. Do you do any Gulf Coast prisons and stuff like that, where you go talk to those guys? And is that something you
yeah,
do?
wherever they send me.
Yeah.
Right now we're working with the Ellis unit.
Oh yeah, Huntsville.
But yeah, I go to most of them. My favorites are not that you should have a favorite.
You got a favorite prison?
Juvenile hall detention, the juvenile
The young
detention
kids. Yeah,
centers.
yeah. And you were telling me about the little signs and whatnot. You
You got to be savvy to what's going on, or they'll run right over you.
Yep.
So
you're like, stop that.
Yeah.
You're not having that.
I like that you're doing that because I think that, like you had said, you started your mischievous stuff as a kid too. And
Yeah.
maybe you can help some of these kids turn their
Sooner the
lives
better,
around.
right? Yeah, sooner the better.
there's a mob saying says, on any day you can meet anybody. It's not every day that you're going to meet somebody. And along comes that one person you shouldn't mess with. And there's nothing you cannot walk away from until it's too late. And too late shows up. You don't like the car you're driving, leave the keys in the ignition and walk away. It's all material. But too late shows up. I'm blessed here. The first bullet should have did me. I was stubborn enough to go get two more. And I wasn't in a collecting lead, but I was going down that trail. And some of these guys, you can see the hard kids. If you've been there, they smell you and you smell them. And those are the ones you just kind of put in the back of your head. And when nobody's around, pull that kid out. I'd like to talk to him. And that's where you hit home. He always puts somebody, I'm blessed to put somebody in my life where I can say, hey, man, I know you're lost. I know you're stuck. I can't stand when there's a program out, and there's some good ones, but when people say I want to help the at-risk youth, what is that to you? I mean, do you really know? And I've gone to a lot of those functions in some areas where there's fundraising for them and stuff, and it's great. But you really got to get in to know, and not everybody can do that. And that's where I feel the best, because some of these kids they're begging for it, and they
don't have
You're
that
strong
way
there.
out.
It's meaningful. I can respect your input. I talk to some folks where it's just, we can ran all day about a certain topic, and it's just, I don't know if, where he's coming from is something I can relate to. It's just talk, and so it's nice to see that people can take that from you as something that is something they could relate to, that they could put into their own lives and be meaningful in a different way than just going to school, a class, you know. Wish all subjects had somebody I could, you know, lean on in that way. And, you know, I don't think it's possible. You know, I mean,
I didn't ask for the position, but it sometimes it'll get me. It depends on who I'm in front of. Then we'll start. Okay,
well, he
this
knows
is coming off.
He
now.
knows you're trying.
And you'll see that one where you got to tell them, knock it off. You know, stop this what you're doing. And I got your number, pal. You ain't that. And they get it. And then there's some areas where you got to just listen to the guy.
Yeah.
I don't know which ones those are, but you just feel them. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
just, like in your trades, you know how to make decisions in the trades that you do because you know your trade.
Yep.
And this just ended up in my lap. So
You're the man for the job. Kind of glad all this stuff happened to you. Maybe you can keep some other people from it happening to them as well.
I'm sure you can.
I hope
I'm
so.
sure you
And
can.
I've seen some of the areas where it didn't turn out all right. And some of the honesty's got to be appreciated because I'll sit in front of them and tell them, you're not going to be okay, bro.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah. I
Look where
just
you're
saw
at
you.
now as
You're
a
not going to make
teenager.
it.
Yeah.
But I've had to say that in a weird way and say, but you've got to make some choices and you know better.
Yeah.
And I've talked to some that are just so hard-headed. This one guy in Freeport, his parents brought me to talk to him, and this kid got shot. He got shot in the heart. The bullet went through his heart and out his back, and he lived.
Wow.
And this kid's a walking testimony. And he sat in front of me, and he says, "Man, you're OG, man. You gangstered up, man. You were shot, what, 3 times, pal? I once, man, straight in the heart." And I seen the smile and the smirk. You don't realize that you should be dead now, right? And I mean, I didn't collect this kid, and he's just, but you know, I got it like that. You can't stop me.
You should stop
You're
now, kid.
you're a dead man walking. And as much as I prayed with him, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I feel it, man. I feel it." And when we left, his mom said he's gonna be okay. And I hated to say it, but I said, "No, he's not. He's not. I didn't reach him." And she, well, I'll pray for him, but 8 months later, he's dead.
Oh man, that's
So,
well. The Lord works in mysterious ways.
there's some you can't reach, and I'm not trying to, but you never stop trying.
Never stop trying. God bless you, man.
But it hurts. God bless you too, guys. Thank you.
I really appreciate you coming on the show, and we'll lead them to where the book is, how to pick a copy up from all the major channels. And you're working with Bomber here in town, and we can reach out to you there. We can reach out to Bomber directly at, what was that website? BomberEnergyUSA.com, and get them to support some other events in the area. They love to get it out there and get a chance to meet some of the fellas. Would you be open to maybe speaking at some other events here in town?
Absolutely. I just did an interview for an upcoming deal. It's called Inspire.
Sure.
At the Woodlands.
Okay.
I believe I'll be there in the fall.
Awesome. Awesome.
But
Well, God bless you, brother. I thank
Look
you for
forward to
coming
it,
on.
man.
Folks, we'll be right back after this with more of the Texas Ticket.
Car enthusiasts of Conroe, FM 104.5 and 106.1 Lone Star Community Radio invites you to shift into gear every Monday from 1 to 2 with Cruising Car Club Talk with Robert and Randy for news on all things automotive in the greater Houston-Conroe area. Can't make a live show? We've got you covered. You can find all of our uncut content, including full episodes on Spotify, iTunes, Play Store, YouTube, Facebook, and irlonestar.com. Again, that's Mondays 1 to 2, Cruising Car Club Talk with Robert and Randy. See you there.
Welcome back to the Texas Ticket. I'm here with Joe. What's up, Joe?
Hey, how's it going, El Nino?
Good. This is the Punch Your Texas Ticket segment of the show, and we got a special guest to join us for this quick rundown of local events and local happenings in the area. I got Karl Brunig with us. Welcome, Karl.
Hey, thank you.
Karl, you had an event you wanted to share with us, and we will let you share that real quick. Go
Yes,
ahead.
sir, I do. My name's Karl, and Guadalaharry's is going to be hosting the Texas Songwriter Shootout finalist competition
Okay.
next Monday night, 6 o'clock,
What's the date on that? Do you know the
the
date?
30th.
The 30th.
It's
Okay.
the 30th, next Monday night. And it is going to be featuring 12 of the winners, of which I am one, of the last 12 competitions, and we're going to shoot it out and see who the top 3 are, and then who the grand prize winner
Top 3 musicians?
is. Singer-songwriters.
Singer-songwriters.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fantastic.
Sounds like a
And
good
it's
time.
open to the public?
Open to the public.
Is there a ticket necessary? Can
Nope,
you just
no
walk
ticket.
in?
Just pop up there.
Food and drinks available?
There's food and drinks.
All
right?
right. And that's the same place for the Riot Club upstairs. They do it on every weekend over at Guadalaharry's upstairs. And Isabel Hagen will be appearing April 3rd at 7:30 at the Downtown Conroe's Guadalaharry's upstairs event. Also, we got a lot of, some major holidays looking at us. Easter's coming up. That's the
right,
5th,
that's
right?
right.
5th.
Yep.
April Fool's Day. When's Palm Sunday?
This Sunday,
This Sunday?
right?
Okay.
This
okay.
Sunday, yeah. And I got a church thing coming up too for,
What do you got?
of course, Palm Sunday, and then also the following Easter Sunday. Over
church
at
Sunday.
the one that I go to over in Porter is the Porter First Baptist. It's right there on the corner of 13, 14, and 59. Pretty
Okay.
big church. Lots of good things happening over there. And Easter Sunday, of course, we got the special service, and then also Easter egg hunt for all the kiddos, which I'm actually kind of fond of, low key.
Cool.
Gonna have candy for like a month after this.
You took your kids out to go see that pirate boat on Lake Conroe.
I did. That was fun. I don't know
That
if you've
looked
ever
fun.
been.
I've seen it.
yeah.
I haven't been on the thing, but it was
It's
nice
right
to
there
see
next
the video.
to the Conroe Lake House, which is a very popular restaurant.
Yeah, on that same.
You gotta go, and they'll probably have a wait on the weekends. But the pirate boat is next door. That's awesome, and also the Lake Conroe Beach Park. If
Yeah,
I'm saying
yeah.
that right, that's,
that's
an
right
awesome
there,
place
too.
to go to. Kids love it there.
And now April
That's
Fool's
awesome.
Day is coming up here in April, of course. We know that one's coming. Arbor Day is coming. National Siblings Day is in April. I don't know what you do there. Maybe go see them.
I have to go see my sister.
Yeah. May 10th is Mother's Day. Don't forget that. Start your pre-planning early.
better get that now.
May 5th is Cinco de Mayo, commemorating victory over France, right? Not Independence Day for Mexico.
it's not.
That's September 16th. So Mexican Independence Day, September 16th. Cinco de Mayo's victory over France because Napoleon was the only one that wouldn't accept. They got had a president come in they had owed everybody money.
Yeah,
And
Mexico owed some people money. from
Everybody
what I
else
heard.
worked out a deal except for Napoleon. He
Yeah.
sent like I think 500 men, and they left the next day.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
didn't work out well.
Yeah, it
for
didn't
them.
work out.
Don't pick a fight with a Mexican.
Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, near and dear to my heart, that Chocolate Strawberry Festival, wine festival going over and over at Bernhardt. That is April 18th from 12 to 4.
Is that the Bernhardt Winery?
Yes,
Is
sir.
that right?
Bernhardt Winery out in Plantersville on the way out to Bryan. If you go up a little past Dobbin,
Right.
it's right there on
Worth
the right
the
hand side.
drive from what I
That
heard.
place, that event's incredible, and it is a lot of fun. But at the same place, coming up a little closer on the 28th, is the Bluebonnet Festival, and that's got Southern Disposition. Debbie Glenn's the lead singer for that band, and they're out of she owns Red Brick Tavern. And,
Yeah.
her sister's Lucy Blues, and they're going to open up that new place over at 202 North Main. So all that's happening. Cody Bassett Memorial Bull Riding Competition on the 26th, and that's Cow Farm Tickets presents Cody Bassett's Memorial Bull Riding 2026. They got the Logan Ryan band out there. A great cause. They got a lot going on. The 11th annual Cody Bassett Memorial Bull Riding. And man, I love watching some bull riding. April 26th, the Margarita Festival is going on over there in the Woodlands. And those tickets are on sale now.
Is it the 25th or the 26th?
25th, sorry.
25th, right?
It's blurry. My vision's going.
The Woodlands Margarita Festival.
Uh-huh.
That's always a good
Block
time. I
party.
heard that's gonna be big.
Big margarita announcement. Got to be 21 to buy a ticket and come out to the event, of course. They'll be serving alcohol. You can check out more of that at the woodlandsmargaritafest.com. I'd like to thank Mr. Phillip Anthony for coming on the show today and all that he had to share. That was awesome. I really enjoyed that. Also, like thank you, Joe. 936-600-DUMP. You can call him up or whatever he does there. Lone Star Community Radio and the production team here high atop of the Conroe Tower, located on the Conroe Square in downtown Conroe, and Bomber Beverages. They should bring a bunch. I don't know what that meant. But yeah, and pick up the book. Don't forget to check out Bullet to the Bible. A great book. You can get it on all your major outlets, eBay, Amazon, all
I'm gonna
that
read
stuff.
that.
Guys, thank you for watching the show today. We'll see you next week with more from the Texas Ticket.
104.5 Lone Star Radio on my mind.